Hi, everyone. I'm Jen Polanz. I'm managing editor of Green Profit Magazine. Welcome to another edition of Trending Now, our video series highlighting hot products for retail. Today, I have with me David Roberts. He is the general manager of Bailey Innovations. Hi, David.
Hi, great to be with you today.
It's nice to have you. So tell me, where are you broadcasting from today?
So I'm in Winterville, Georgia, which is about 8 miles east of Athens, Georgia, which is where our research and development facility is located.
Okay, and we're going to hear about a product today that is born from that Georgia facility.
That's right. We'll be talking about Hydrangea Little Hottie, which is a Hydrangea paniculata that was born and bred in the heat of the South, right here in Georgia.
All right, so I am going to share my screen and we're going to find out a little bit more about this beautiful, beautiful plant.
Yeah, so this is a Little Hottie, and it was developed years ago. This is something that has been trialed for over 5 years, and it's something that we're really excited about because it's got so many great characteristics that we've really been looking for a long time. Little Hottie is unique in that we trialed it side by side with several of its siblings because we were really looking for, the best possible compact and heavy flowering Hydrangea paniculata that we could find. And after years of trialing, we finally landed on Little Hottie as being that perfect plant. This is an extremely compact plant. It's got a very dense bloom load. As you can see in this image, it's just covered from head to toe in these big, beautiful creamy white blooms. It's got such a dense bloom load that it can at times be hard to see the foliage. It's just got such this incredible display. We know that it's incredibly dense and well branched. And so even though it's a very compact plant, it's still going to grow vigorously and fill a pot quickly, which is what we think a lot of our growers are looking for. It also makes it easy to use in the landscape. You're not going to have to wait a long time for the plant to fill out and get established because it is so densely branched and provides such a heavy floral display. It provides a lot of really great instant gratification. So this is something that we're really excited about, and it's been a long time coming, but it's definitely worth the wait because we've really put our time into making sure that this plant is exactly what we're looking for.
And so would you say this is great in the landscape, in containers, or both?
I would say both. Typically a Hydrangea paniculata, they can get a little rangy, they can kind of get a little lanky, but because this has such really nice dense branching, this is something that you could easily put into a nice Art Deco pot or put in a nice decorative pot on your patio. It'll be in flower all summer long, and it'll be an easy plant to also use in the landscape because of some of those same characteristics. In fact, I think you can use Little Hottie in a number of ways that you may not be able to use other Hydrangea paniculatas. Again, because some of these paniculatas do get so tall, Little Hottie can be used in a number of ways that I think make it just a little bit more versatile in the landscape. Myself, for example, I've got a pretty low window in the front side of my house. And if I were to plant a traditional paniculata there, it would completely shade out the entire window. Whereas I can plant a little hedge of Little Hotties underneath it, and it'll get just tall enough to create a little bloom display on the underside of my window without blocking out that light. So it's a really nice plant that you can kind of tuck into these tight little spaces where a traditional Hydrangea paniculata might just be a little bit too big.
And how about the stems on these? Are these good for cut flowers, for sticking in vases?
Yeah, this is actually going to be really good for cut flowers because it does have such a really dense bloom. It will actually open over a number of days. So you can kind of see in this image, the tips of the flowers have this really nice kind of green tint to it. The entire flower starts off with that really nice green tinge. And then as the sepals begin to open, it sort of takes on this creamy white nature, but it sort of begins low and then extends towards the top of the plant. So you'll sort of get this gradation of green fading to this creamy white as the flower matures and develops. And we can do the same thing in a cut flower, a vase. You just need a good size stem. Again, Little Hottie has got really short internodes, which makes the branching a little bit tighter. And so you're not going to need a 3-foot long scape. You'll be able to have a relatively short scape for your cut flower, but still have a really nice size, dense bloom on the end of it as well.
And then how does this mature into the fall? What does that look like?
So for us in the South, it fades like any traditional, hydrangea paniculata does. That's one thing that's sort of a challenge for us in the deep South where it gets really hot. We don't typically get those really nice pink tones that our neighbors in the North can. My friends in Minnesota, for example, can get these incredible colors that I just can't get in Georgia. But we do know that Little Hottie will produce some nice pink tones if you live in those cooler regions. So if you've got nice, long, hot days and then cool evenings, you're going to develop some of these nice pink tones that you can typically see. For us in Georgia, we typically get sort of like this image shows, these incredibly bright and vibrant blooms. But then as they fade, they typically just antique like any traditional hydrangea paniculata would, sort of mellowing in color and then eventually, after a number of weeks or months, eventually falling off the plant. But like I said, for my friends who are fortunate enough to live in a slightly cooler climate, you can definitely expect to see some of those nice pink tones develop. Not quite as bright as one of our other varieties, Berry White, which has this really shocking, bright, almost red coloration to it. This is going to be more of a pastel, but it's still a very lovely kind of mellow pink that will last for quite a while in the landscape.
Sort of that antique color that
Just
people
so,
love.
yes. Exactly.
Okay. Any other benefits to the plant that retailers can really play up in the garden center?
Yeah, well, this is again, it's a really compact plant, but it does grow vigorously and it does produce this incredible display of blooms. And so you can really stage this in front of a lot of taller plants and it's really going to pop and kind of set off whatever it's in front of. Again, it's going to have a really dense display, so a tight little mound of flowers, but they're going to be really bright and vibrant on a really dense display. So it's going to be something you can easily set in front of a larger display of plants and not really hide what's behind it, but still show off those really incredible blooms that Little Hottie's known for.
And then I know Bailey and First Editions has a lot of POP and materials that retailers can use. Where can they find more information on that?
That's right. Yeah. If you go to our website, baileynurseries.com, or the First Editions website, you can find plenty of information on getting some of those POP materials sent to you directly from Bailey, or just reach out to me or any other Bailey representative if you ever have questions, and we'll be happy to put you in touch with the right people to get the product that you need.
Okay, great. Well, thank you so much, David, for sharing this with us.
Not a problem. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Anytime. So on behalf of Green Profit Magazine and Ball Publishing, I'm Jen Polanz saying thanks so much for watching and look for more Trending Now videos coming soon.